Miguel Alvert is a junior studying journalism and electronic media with a minor in business administration. While an injury sent him back home to Memphis for the semester, he has participated in UT's Latin American Student Organization, the Student Government Association, and the National Association of Hispanic Journalists.
It's a Latin American student organization. So, Latin American student organization was just like involving people from all cultures to get used to like the Latin culture. We would go to different restaurants, we would go to different places around Knoxville and get to meet sort of thing, like meet new restaurants that we haven't seen before and just get to know them, or like talk about our culture, talk about like, food, talk about life in general, what Hispanics on a daily basis do. It's just like it was a fun little club to be a part of. We would do a friendsgiving as well, like around Thanksgiving time. We would talk about what sort of things we're thankful for, and how we've got here in the first place, stuff like that. And it was enjoyable. And then SGA was a part of the government association of UT, and that was pretty fun. We get to held meetings about what future plans we have for UT. So a sort of thing like parking, or sort of thing like dining. What sort of new meals we could have for dining students that have their dining plans, which was fun. I wish I could be a part of it more often, but I just didn't have time, so I had to leave. But it was a very enjoyable club to be in as well.
As for his post-grad plans, Miguel wants to pursue a master's degree in business administration as well as an internship in broadcasting. His dream job would be to work at ESPN as a commentator for soccer.
I think my dream job would be working for like ESPN or like Fox Sports, just because I want to be a part of like a sports broadcasting team. Not only me just working by myself, but like working with others that know what they, what they're talking about, and trying to get used to like their flow, and having my creating my own flow as well, which is
Mm-hmm.
like a really cool thing to have. Especially if you're talking about something that you're passionate about. That's like the key thing that I think I'd be great at with sports, and I'm really good at like talking about like sports, especially soccer, and that's just one thing that I can talk about all day, and that's why I want to be a part of like ESPN, so I can like basically show my opinion and explain more about the sport to people that don't know much about it.
I tell him, you need to be obsessed to get what you want in life. Like the things is not gonna be granted for free. You need to go for what you want to get.
While some broadcasting companies have had many presenters adapt to working from home, Miguel wishes to be the boots on the ground with his coverage.
I'd like to like travel. I'd like to go to places. I'd like to like meet, interview like players. I like to interview like coaches. That's like the one thing this job is supposed to be about. Like, being working from home is always a comfort, but I want to get out of my comfort zone and really explore different opportunities. Like, if I were to live in Brazil one year, if I were to live in, I don't know, Italy one year, and just like know the language, get to know the language, get to know the culture, and then get to know like the sport there. Like, soccer is different. Soccer is basically like different in different parts of the world. Like how they use it to communicate to people, how they
Mm-hmm.
use it to react to political events. So yeah, that I would want to be boots on the ground, because I just want to like travel and get to know different cultures and how they feel about soccer and how they work with soccer, and how I can express my opinion about soccer
Mm-hmm.
with their opinion.
He was telling the mayor that where you're trying to study, he was saying, I want to be ESPN commentator for ESPN for soccer, Real Madrid, Spain. Oh, that's what he always said. And I thought,
10 years from now, Miguel sees himself working in the sports broadcasting industry while also enterprising his own trading card cafe.
When I was a kid, I grew up with like trading cards, and like I'd trade like sports cards with people, and I'd like create like an album, and like create an album to like put these sports cards in. And I feel like I want to create a business where trading cards are like the usual.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like a cafe or like some sort of place where people like really meet and they go and they trade cards, and it doesn't matter what type of card you trade, as long as it's like sports related, it's okay. Like sound, you're trading cards with people. You trade with either money or you trade with either you're trading cards. That's like the whole entire experiment. And my profit would be I trade my own cards as well, and I would trade with people who need those cards, and then I would charge them those cards.
Miguel says that his mother is his role model. Her work ethic has inspired him to work hard for his future family.
My role model, my mom, my parents. They've just done so much since they came to this country when they were kind of like my age. My mom came to this country when she was about like 20-ish, in her 20s, and she doesn't regret it at all. And she's done so much for my family since being here. I grew up here, obviously, but she grew up in Venezuela, and she struggled so much living there. When she graduated college, she didn't know what to do, like job wise. That my mom had to leave the country, and then there was a dictatorship that happened later. So my mom came to the country, and she just presented herself with all the knowledge that she had. She worked at schools. She worked as a real estate agent. She worked at as an engineer. She did everything she could, so she still does it, and she provide so much for my family. So that's what I think about doing when I grow up. I want to provide so much for my family instead of for me, because I know the job that I have uh, could increment so much income that I know I could provide for my family that they need it more than I do.
Right.
And why I look up to my mom, because she has so much that I want to do for my family that she's already done for our family.